All right, team, welcome to day 5 of your AZ-900 Fast Track. Today, we are going to tackle Azure costs. And let me tell you, this stuff is guaranteed to be on your exam. We're going to cover how to forecast, how to control, and how to organize your cloud spending. This is a big one, so let's dive right in. Think of our time today as a 3-stage journey to becoming a cost master. First up, we're going to learn how to forecast. You know, how to figure out what things will cost before you spend a single cent. Then we'll shift gears into control. This is where you're in the driver's seat, monitoring and managing everything that's running. And finally, the secret sauce, how to organize it all. This is the part that unlocks those deep insights. Nailing these 3 is absolutely non-negotiable for passing the exam.
So let's kick things off with Chapter 1, the forecast. This is all about looking before you leap. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint and a budget, right? Well, the cloud is no different. You've got to have a plan. And thankfully, Azure gives us the perfect tool for the job.
And that tool is the pricing calculator. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a mortgage calculator for your future cloud setup. It's a simple website where you can plug in all the things you think you'll need. You know, some virtual machines, a bit of storage, maybe a database, and it spits out a really detailed estimate of what it's all going to cost. It is the absolute first step you should take. The whole point here is simple but so important. We estimate, we don't guess. Using the pricing calculator is what separates the pros from the amateurs. It's about making smart, data-driven financial decisions instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. This is ground zero for being financially responsible in the cloud. Okay, pencils down, listen up. This is your first critical exam watch. In some older material, you might see something called the TCO, or Total Cost of Ownership Calculator. Hear me on this. The TCO calculator is retired. It's ancient history. For your AZ-900 exam, the only tool you need to know for estimating future costs is the pricing calculator. If you see TCO as an answer choice, you'll know it's a trap. It's the wrong answer. And hey, you might be a little nervous to play around with this thing, thinking you're going to accidentally spin up a supercomputer and get a massive bill. Relax, that's not how it works. This is a direct quote from the documentation. It's just an estimate. Nothing actually gets created, and you will not be charged a penny. It's a totally risk-free sandbox, so go wild. Build out your dream architecture and see what it would cost. Okay, so you've done your homework, you've made your forecast, and you've deployed your resources. So now what? Well, that brings us to Chapter 2, the control tower. We're shifting from planning ahead to managing what's happening right now. And your mission control for all of this is Azure Cost Management. If the pricing calculator was the mortgage calculator, then cost management is like your online banking app. It's where you go to see exactly where your money is going, to set up alerts so you don't overspend, and even to create budgets that can automatically take action for you. It's your one-stop shop for financial control. Now, inside cost management is a tool called cost analysis, and this is where you get to play detective. You can slice and dice your spending data any way you want. By the month, by which data center it's in, or even down to a single specific resource. This is how you go from just seeing a total bill to really understanding the story behind your spending.
All right, everybody lean in close for this one. This table right here, it's basically free points on the exam. I guarantee you'll see it. There are 3 types of alerts. First, budget alerts. These are for everybody. You, me, anyone using Azure. You set a number, and it warns you if you get close. Easy. The next 2, credit alerts and department quota alerts, are specifically for big companies with what's called an enterprise agreement. Credit alerts tell you when your prepaid credit is running low, and department alerts do the same, but for specific teams. Knowing who uses which alert is key.
So what does setting up a budget actually look like? It's a super simple 4-step flow. First, you set a limit, let's say $1,000. Then you decide on a threshold, like 80%, so you get a warning when you hit $800. Third, when you hit that threshold, you get an email. Simple enough. But number 4 is where it gets really cool. You can actually trigger automation, like automatically shutting down a test environment, to make sure you never go over budget. And that brings us to our final chapter, the one that really ties everything together, the organizer. Look, forecasting and controlling costs are great, but if your resources are a mess, you're still just flying blind. Good organization is the key that unlocks everything else. Just imagine this for a second. Your company starts small, just a few servers. But then you grow, and you grow some more. Suddenly, you've got hundreds, maybe thousands of resources all over the place. It's total chaos. How in the world do you figure out what the marketing team is spending versus what the dev team is spending?
The answer is so simple it's brilliant. Resource tags. Tags are just little labels or metadata that you stick on your resources. They're key value pairs. Think of it like this. Imagine every item in your grocery cart had a little label on it, like Project Birthday Party or Department Kids Lunches. Tags let you do the exact same thing with your Azure bill, so you can see precisely who is spending what and why.
But here's the kicker, and this is what makes tags so powerful. They are not just for tracking costs. Not at all. You can use them for security, for managing operations, for compliance, even for automation. They are like a Swiss Army knife for cloud management. A single tag can give valuable information to finance, security, and your tech teams all at once.
So what does a tag actually look like? It couldn't be simpler. It's just a name and a value. The name might be environment, and the value could be prod. Or the name is owner, and the value is Jane Doe. The super flexible structure lets you create a custom filing system for your cloud that perfectly matches how your business actually works. And here it is, our final and maybe the most important exam watch of the day. This is a classic trick question, so listen carefully. Tags are not inherited. That means if you put a tag on a resource group, the things inside that group do not automatically get the same tag. You have to tag each resource individually. Now, this isn't a bug, it's a feature. It gives you total flexibility. And I can almost promise you, you will see a question about this.
Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's lock all this in. We're going to do a rapid-fire summary to make sure these concepts are burned into your brain for exam day. Ready? Let's go.
First up, the pricing calculator. When you see this, your brain should scream, estimate. Its job is to guess future costs before you spend anything. Next, cost management. That's your command center. It's all about how you monitor and control your spending while it's happening. What's our secret weapon for fighting chaos? Tags. You use them to organize and categorize everything for crystal clear reports. And finally, alerts. They are your financial safety net. They notify you when you're hitting your limits, and they can even automate actions to stop overspending.
And that's it. That is the whole journey, from forecasting to controlling to organizing. You've officially mastered the tools of cloud financial management. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build and control?